This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello via, you're watching Business and Economy Network. My name is Peter Nwoche. I want to say a big thank you for allowing us into your homes, offices, wherever you're watching the program. And more importantly, for those of you who are watching us in Asaba, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Ilorin, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, wherever you're watching all around the world, and those of you in South Africa, Ghana, London, and via the online channels, I want to say thank you so very, very much. We are looking at housing and urban development, and we're also looking at pension fund administration, and also looking at pharmaceutical and health in Nigeria. Now, for Company in Focus today, we have the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Landway Investment Limited, a company that's helping in the housing deficits in Nigeria, and they're located in Lagos, and they're doing so very well when it comes to housing and its like. For special report, we have the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of ICO Pensions Managers Limited. They are one of the pension fund administrators in Nigeria. Now for Spotlight, we have all the way from Niger State, Nigeria, the Chief Executive Officer of GCL Pharmaceuticals Industries Limited in the health and pharmaceutical sector in Nigeria. You name them: housing, pension fund administration, and also health. All these companies, they are doing wonderfully well. Relax yourself, brace up. It's going to be deep, incisive, and very educative. I'll be back after this time out.
Ever heard of smart homes where everything is fully automated? Landway, developers of Westwood Park, Orangeville, and Erim Estates is now offering Urban Base, Bukije Lekki, a smart estate infused with technology and architectural comfort. With 10 million naira, you can own the future. Buy 5% discount on outright purchase or flexible payment plans in 0 to 2 months, 3 months or 6 months. Be smart. Buy into Urban Base. Smart homes for smart people. For more info, visit myurbanbase.com. Think in land, think Landway.
Mr. Olawale Anyilara is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Landway Investment Limited. The firm was born out of a strong passion and concern to contribute meaningfully and provide solutions to the rising rate of insufficient housing for Nigerians. Landway has reinvented home ownership by creating structures that are at the forefront of cutting-edge architecture, offering delightful and affordable quality homes and real estate services. Landway is constantly developing high-quality model structures of various kinds with state-of-the-art amenities and services for residents. Some of the estates are East Amber Estate, Orangeville Estate, Brent Hills Estate, Greenwich Estate, West Park Estate, Eden View Estate, to mention a few. Think Land, think Landway.
We started not too long ago. I would say not too long ago. We started as a very humble real estate development company in Lagos, Nigeria, and then we entered into the property market. I've been doing business for like 10 years now, and then I haven't studied real estate extensively for about 1 year before starting. It was just a wonderful experience for us. Why did we go into real estate development business? We noticed some irregularities in the market, and then it was a very good advantage for us to enter the market and then also provide solutions and then offer our own service and then contribute our quota to the Nigerian real estate development sector. In Lekki, Ajah, Lagos State, we have some of the leading projects when it comes to real estate development within the Lekki, Ajah in Lagos, Nigeria. Our projects span from Westwood Park Estate, Orangeville Estate, we have Walton Gate Estate, we have Arium Estate, we have East Amber, we have Northville. We have about 11 projects, and these projects are one of the very best projects that you can find in Lekki, Nigeria. We are into site and service basically, so we provide the necessary infrastructure for our client to subscribe into, and then we look into there's a lot of developers that they don't put into practice excellence, they don't put into practice quality, and then this is what we bring into play. On all our projects, we have nothing less than 20 years guarantee on all our infrastructure and everything that we do, and then which is one of the things that stands us out in the market, why clients get to trust us more than some of these other companies. Home ownership is something that you have to be deliberate about, is something that you have to be conscious about. So home ownership is, as much as it's key, people have to be deliberate about it. You have to put something aside from what you earn to put into your home ownership project. Is the best thing that can happen to any human being. Owning a property of your own is the best thing that can happen, and one of the best places you can invest in the world is Lagos State, Nigeria, because of the rate of growth that Lagos State is experiencing. You can never get it wrong with property investment in Lagos, as long as you buy right. You buy property in a very good location with a very good title document from a reputable company. I can tell you, you can go to bed and then be sure that your real estate investment will be worth it in a very short period of time. So for people that want to go into home ownership, you have to be deliberate about it. You have to set something aside every month, because it's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Every other thing might not really be an asset like that, but when it comes to property, this is something that you can rely on for the rest of your life. I've seen people buy properties while they are working, and then when they get sacked and all that, they go back to this property and then sell some to set up themselves and all that. I've seen people inherit properties that has wonderful properties that have paid their bills through school, set them up in the finance businesses and all that. So it's very something that you have to do, and it's something everybody must do. So investing with us now, you can go to our website www.landwayinvestment.com, and then you see everything about Landway and how you can also be part of it. And then you see some of our previous projects, you see videos there, you see pictures there, and then these are the things that you can get to know about before starting. Lagos is a metropolitan city, and then the economy of Lagos State, I will say, is different from the economy of Nigeria. It's a two separate entity entirely, because Lagos is a mega city growing about 6,000 people every day. How many core members do go back when they finish their NYSC? People come to Lagos every time. Even social media is not helping. People see their cousins, their nephews balling on Instagram, and then they also want to migrate to Lagos State. So these are the things that, but at the same time, urban development, the rate at which Lagos is going, because I'm talking from the perspective of Lagos, because this is where I operate, and then I've done my research about this environment over time to actually particularly understand. If you want to buy any place in Lagos State now, where do you want to buy that is affordable? If you want to buy any place on the mainland, you're talking about Ikorodu. And Ikorodu, for so many people, a lot of people don't want to go there. Maybe distance and all that. Some people don't want to go to Ikorodu, but a young or calling mobile Nigerian that lives in Lagos State, where do you want to buy? You're considering the island, but on the island, in the space of some 15-20 years, we might get to exhaust all the land mass on the entire island. Yeah, because even right now, reclamation is going on, water reclamation, but how far can we go on that? So you see that people are building horizontally and not vertically. So in the space of 15-20 years, what we'll be having is to be selling airspace. What I would have preferred is that before we even start selling airspace, we need to start building. Vertically.
Hello, younger self. I just want to say thank you for deciding to live healthy. Thank you for keeping the right crowd that led to a partner that supports me. That decision led me to make the most important decision of all, making sure that I prepare for a secure future with the right partner. A partner that I can trust, that will ensure that I'm covered no matter what. ICO Pension Managers Limited. Now I can indulge in the things that matter to me. Thanks to you. You are a product of your decisions. Make choices that can stand the test of time, so when tomorrow calls, you'll answer with a smile. So, what decisions will you be making today? ICO Pension Managers.
ICO Pension Fund Manager is one of Nigeria's pace-setting public fund administrators. Considering its strategic mode of operations and dynamic nature, Mr. Igwahide Longe is the MDC of ICO Pension Managers, an expert in finance and investment, having worked in diverse reputable firms, gaining necessary experience and building capacity, which is one of the reasons why ICO Pension Managers is endeared to many when it comes to pension fund matters. Over the years, ICO Pension has made remarkable success considering its strategy of putting customers' needs and satisfaction as top priority and with a second-to-none investment style.
ICO Pension was licensed by the National Pension Commission pursuant to the Pension Reform Act 2004 in April 2006. It started operations in May 2006, and we have worked to build the organization from scratch. In the 12-year period, we've been able to come close to funds under management of 100 billion, and it has taken a lot of work of the pioneering staff, and the staff who remain here today. It's been a lot of hard work. We were sort of disadvantaged because we were in the third generation of licenses, and at the time we came to be, most of the federal government accounts, most of the public sector accounts had been signed up, so we really had to do a lot of guerrilla work to build our business to where it has come. So today we are more than 70% private sector contributor funded, whereas it's different for some PFAs that were licensed earlier. So we really thank our customers for supporting us and giving us the capacity to stay at the point where we are. We've come a long way, and we're going to continue growing stronger. We think that the pension industry is going to be significantly driven by the private sector. The contributory pension scheme is a government-originated scheme, and it is compulsory for employers that have, as of 2014, 3 or more employees to sign up to the contributory pension scheme. And it is very heavily regulated, and because of that, you find out that the products that we all offer, 21 pension fund administrators, 7 closed pension fund administrators, and 4 pension fund custodians, the services that each category offers is generic. So I think what then becomes unique is how within a generic product space you are able to foster a culture that breeds efficiency and customer service. I think that is the unique perspective we bring to the business. I mean, we've been able to build a culture that focuses significantly on the customer and takes very, very seriously the creation of value for the contributors in investment management. I think that's the unique perspective we bring to our business, and we're also a very compliant organization. And I would say one of the really great unique features or unique items on the ICO pension plates is the board of directors of the organization. We have a unique combination in our director suite, tested and proven business managers in different fields that contributes to driving this organization to where it should be going. In a nutshell, the contributory pension scheme is a revolution as to in the way pension is managed in Nigeria. Before the advent of the contributory pension scheme by the Pension Reform Act 2004, pension was managed in a very chaotic manner. It was under what was called defined benefit program, defined benefit arrangements, and the defined benefit pension simply means that your pension is referenced to a certain salary scale at your point of retirement, and you on the salary scale that you retire, there's a certain element of increase that is paid to you as a result of that salary scale. You are paid regardless of what has been accrued for you. And in the past, the government did not put any money aside to fund the defined benefit scheme. So it was funded on a pay-as-you-go basis. So anyone who retired in any 1 year, government, out of its current budgets, sought to fund the pension liabilities that they had accumulated. So you can understand when you have shocks in the oil market, like we've experienced several times in this country, the budget is restricted, and so it's difficult for government to be able to pay for everything. And so that was the genesis of having people have to queue up for hours on end for their pension. There was also the issue of being able to determine who the real pensioner is or was. So there had to be verification exercises, so people had to stay in the sun and in the rain, come from near and far. All that dissolved with the contributory pension scheme. The history of how the contributory pension scheme came to be is a totally different matter, but we must give kudos to the current governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, who in a large sense originated the thinking to go in the contributory pension scheme direction. He brought it to his boss, the then President Olusegun Obasanjo, and they realized that they needed to tackle the pension liabilities that had been accumulated in the federal parastatals and the civil service. Essentially, the contributory pension scheme departs from the defined benefit scheme in that your pension is funded by yourself, the employer, the employee, and the employer. At the time, in 2004, it was 7.5% each at a minimum. The employer pays 7.5% to match the deduction of 7.5% from the employee's basic housing and transport allowance. So that way you have pension put in an account which is managed by professionals, pension fund administrators, pension fund custodians, and supervised by the National Pension Commission, so that at the end of the rainbow, when you retire, there is an amount that is accumulated to pay you pension on a periodic basis.
In a response to how competition is being handled by the firm, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, who doubles as the Superintendent Pharmacist, Pharmacist David Oluwayemi, humbly pointed out that GCIL drug sells and speaks for itself, which has brought about increased patronage and acceptability from Nigerians and non-Nigerians. GCIL pays needed attention to quality control, which has made the firm hire the best hands and make available the best facilities, producing quality drugs that continuously meet international standards. Another plus for the firm is the regular firm product assessment review and appraisal.
Our product sells itself, and that is the best way you can survive. I don't compete, but I provide service that I know by God's grace will be compensated for. And when your product is speaking for you, definitely the patronage will increase. And with that one, it will spread. So our product has been speaking for itself, and by the grace of God, it has been increasing in patronage. And we have system on ground to make sure we keep to our standard. One, we look at all the international standards that is required and we follow them. We have a very rich quality control department The manager in charge of the quality control department is a master degree holder, a PhD in view, who is presently pursuing his PhD. And the assistant is also a master degree holder, a microbiologist. And the least personnel, at least for now, that are employed by the company is HND holder in the lab. And from time to time, we have gone for both NAFDAC training and other training outside to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do to keep our standard. So with the quality of the people we have in the quality control department, we ensure that the quality of our product is maintained. And we meet virtually every month to audit ourselves, to assess ourselves. We assess our product from time to time. We do product review to make sure we are not deviating from the standard. Yesterday, I was with the Board of Internal Revenue in Niger State. I told them for the past almost 20 years I've been operating in Niger, we have not enjoyed 10 naira patronage from Niger State government. I told them, and they can go through their record. If they see anyone there, they should tell us. Since we have started, the government as a government have not said they are patronizing us, or this is an intervention or assistance that they give to us in any form, either cash or kind, even call to encourage, moral support. There's nothing like that. When we started production, before we started production, we have to go to First Bank to go and borrow money to buy that transformer there. The government is not providing transformer, it's not providing lights, it's not providing water, it's not providing anything. How I wish this present government will encourage indigenous company, because it is industrial revolution that can actually bail us out of the situation we are in Nigeria. Most of these products we are importing into Nigeria, there are things we can produce in Nigeria. And if we have companies that are producing it in Nigeria, our people will be employed. And the more our people are employed, we reduce unemployment. The people we are importing from, they engage their people to produce there. We are only giving them money and bring the finished product here. And we employ only 1 or 2 people to sell for us. So I wish the government, this present government, one will look into a policy that is one policy that will favor local manufacturers. One of the policy is when we are importing either raw materials or machineries for production, the duties that they are putting, they should consider it and review it downward. The government policy must favor local manufacturers. Policy on importation of raw materials and machineries. 2, there are some products that we are producing in Nigeria. The government should be able to give us a policy that such products should not be brought in and stand by their word. Most of the time they say this product is banned, this product must not come in, but you still see it inside. We import some of the raw materials. We also source for some approved vendors from Lagos, Transcell, Nigeria Limited, and some other approved vendors in Lagos. The sourcing for machine, it was not very easy, but because we don't have choice, I always tell my people, we are already into it. No retreat, no surrender, no going back. We must go forward.
Well, viewers, this is where time will permit us. I want to say a big thank you for all you have done so far and over the years. Those of you have called in, those of you have made inquiries. Well, your program is here, Business and Economy Network, to serve you much more better. But let's just pause a little bit. The young managing director of Landway Investment Limited, you heard what he talked about. Investing, housing, and all that. What about ICO, Pension Fund Administration, and not left out? JC Pharmaceuticals Industry Limited, talking about pharmaceutical and health. Well, I believe it has been very, very educative, informative, and more importantly, incisive. Next week is another day. We're going to showcase much more pension fund administrators and also those in the built housing development in Nigeria. I'll be with you again same time next week. Invest in yourself and invest wisely. See you next week.